What's up, guys? It's CJ back again with another video. Christmas videos are still coming, I promise. It's been a while, but today we're going to just take a look. I've been working on, for a while now, this binder. I've been working on my own campaign setting, I guess. Haven't played much in it. I'm still working on it, so we're kind of running through. I mean, technically right now, running my group through Lost Mines of Phandelver, but while I'm working on this. So I figured we'd start a new video series rather, on my homebrew world, where I'm at so far, and that way I can get some feedback, some information, and we can build it together. So I like Photoshop. I've done some graphic design work and stuff before, so we made a rough cover for the light reflection for our campaign. Zydes returns, or Zydes, I haven't decided how I want to pronounce it yet. But it says, when a long-lost enemy returns, things are bound to get a little wild. Anyway, today's video, and yes, that is one of the Dragon Priest masks from Skyrim. It's what the big bad's going to wear. But, and actually this entire thing, but we'll get into that later. What we're going to talk about today, I have built the Pantheon for my world. So I figured today we would start to take a look at them and kind of just describe what one's what and what they're all about and how I built it, and get some feedback on what I should change, what I should keep. So if you have any opinions, put them in the description below. I appreciate it. So I think for this first video, what we'll do is we'll stick to the main, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the main 6 gods. So the way that I've set it up is there's 6 main gods, one of which is kind of the father of all gods, kind of like the Odin or Zeus of the world. And then it's his children beneath. And then the next tier down would kind of be like the demigods, or the children of the children. So, and then from there we'd go down to more so like the Hercules demigod style that are a little more involved in the world. But to start out, we'll start with Daddy Dearest. So the Pantheon, I haven't named the world that it's in yet, and I think I'm going to adapt some of these to my current campaign that we're playing through, and actually in Faerun, but I may just kind of reskin like Raven Queen, things like that. But for the start of it, we have Uxris, father of the gods, who's true neutral alignment. Uxris is an observer, the creator of all things, all life, including the gods. He is indifferent to all conflict. He simply enjoys watching how the world does on its own, and cares little if it ends. To watch over the world, he had created 5 children, 2 sets of twins, and an eldest daughter. Each watches over one of the 5 main ideals: life, death, order, chaos, and nature. So that's Big Grandpa. Any pictures that I use in this video to kind of to show what they look like, it's just something I pulled off Google. I don't have any actual art made for any of them yet, so I don't own any of the images used for them in this video. After that, we have the eldest daughter. Like I said, it's not part of the twin sets. Inelia, the mother of nature, who's also true neutral aligned. The eldest of the children of Uxris, Inelia was the first to touch the world. She shaped the world with lands, seas, animals, and plant life. She then created 4 children of her own to look after each of the 4 main elements of the world: water, fire, earth, and air. She tends to stay out of the bickering of her children, but if one begins to overwhelm the others, she's known to step in and bring back balance. She likes to spend her time teaching, through riddles usually, the races of the world about the importance of the world itself around them. So she'd kind of be the one that's followed by the druids of the world, that aren't specially following like fire, water, earth, or air of her children. So, yeah, druidish god, true neutral. And then after that, we got the first set of twins, Noctia, who's chaotic neutral, and Adaria, who's lawful neutral, the twin goddesses of life and death. So Noctia would be death, and Adaria would be life. Noctia controls the power of death, and Adaria life, like I just said. The twins only balance the influx and exit of life within the world. Each fear that the other will attempt to betray and overpower the other. However, neither has struck. They remain ever together, giving neither leeway in the struggle. They appear together at both the time of birth and death of all races, and place judgment upon them to either continue to live or die and enter the afterlife. After they plead their case, should they continue to live, they remember very little about the trial they had with the twins. So the way I was going to do this with my players is, if one of the players just straight out fails through death saves, dies, rather than just straight up call the character dead, then they would see, they would be visited by another god that we'll talk about later in probably the next video, because it's one of the children, Pantheon, who would come and take their soul to be just on trial again with Noctia and Adaria, and they'll plead their case why they should keep living or that they're done and just kind of give up. And if they plead their case well enough, they have enough reasons that they should stay, and they can persuade the gods they can return to life that way. It's kind of a way to help keep the players from having to make a new character if they don't want to, just because the dice weren't in their favor and they ended up dying. So I've got a player that tends to die a lot. Hi, Josh, if you're watching. And I think that I might have to start using this with him a little more. That's why I'm saying I might have to work it into the Lost Minds of Phandelver, and I think we're playing Tomb of Annihilation next with the same character, so I need to come up with some other way to deal with death and so I can keep playing the same characters instead of having a new character I have to work into the story every week. Yeah. So those are the twins of life and death. After that, we've got the other set of twins. We've got Udar, the god of chaos, who we'll talk about first, and then Ateus, the god of order. So first we'll talk about Udar, the god of chaos, who's chaotic evil. Ever at war with his brother Ateus, he wishes for nothing less than the end of everything. Laws are made to be broken. He spends his time setting in motion plans of chaos. His children are just as evil as he is, and they work to bring about the end of all things, leaving as much havoc and chaos in their wake as possible. He sends his minions, usually Nilbog or some other scheming monster, to thieves and murderers of great power and promise, to offer them deals to do his bidding. Most deals don't end well for the mortals, however. So this is straight up the evil god. I don't know how else to describe it. It's the big bad god. His children, I think, are going to be a little more prominent in my stuff than he himself. He's kind of going to be like the king, just kind of sending off, letting his kids as his generals or whatever kind of do all the main work, where he's looking at the long overarching plan that might take centuries and centuries and centuries. More so, he just gets enjoyment out of pure chaos and sticking a thorn in his brother's side. So Ateus, then, his brother, the god of order, who's lawful good. I have order, structure, and life. Ateus seeks to bring honor to the world. Always at war with Udar, but chooses to remain on the defensive. He spends his time granting power to those he deems worthy and that are honorable in their duties to uphold the law. He is the chosen god of most of the kingdoms of the world. His strict punishments for chaos and law-breaking make him a beloved and feared god all at the same time. So this is the paladin, cleric, lawful good god who's... You break the laws, you don't deserve life if it's like severe, but you will be punished if you break the laws, basically. So this is the pure, lawful good god. I've got he has two children too, I think, who end up breaking down into basically like a Valkyrie, who is his hand that kind of deals out the punishments, and then kind of I think a son who's kind of like the wizardly god, the god of knowledge and whatnot. But we'll talk about them in the next video. So this is going to be part one. This is the main six of my Pantheon, but I haven't named my world yet. So if you have any suggestions, any ideas, let me know. I've got some cities done, I've got some kingdoms done, but I've not named the actual like planet or continent. So that's part one. If you guys want to see more, let me know. We can do part two where we'll talk about the children. We've got the 4 elemental children. We've got 3 children for chaos, and we've got the 2 children. 2 children for Ateus also, and then a couple children. I think 1 each for life and death's children. But yeah, let me know what you think. Give me some feedback in the description. Let me know what's going on in your head based on what I've said. And I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, crit happens.